I didn't believe in the Queen. Nobody sane did, not really. We believed in gravity, oxygen taxes, orbital curfews, and the quiet hum of drones that watched our windows at night. We believed in ration codes and in never looking up when the sky flickered green. But the Queen? The woman who supposedly ruled the entire network of worlds without ever appearing in public? That was myth. A bedtime story governments told children so they'd obey curfews. At least, that's what I thought the night I said her name. The colony of Ardent, 12 floated above a dead ocean. From orbit, it probably looked majestic, a silver halo around a gray planet, but from inside it felt like living inside an aging air filter. Everything smelled faintly metallic, and everything hummed. We gathered at my sister Lyra's apartment because she'd finally gotten real protein. Not synthesized, not algae-pressed, not printed, grown meat. A miracle shipment smuggled through docking customs. 6 of us squeezed around the narrow table. Lyra fussed over plates. Merrick complained about work permits. Jonah tuned the wall screen to silent news streams. And old Tamsin, who had survived 3 relocations and 2 planetary collapses, watched us like we were already ghosts. Don't waste the taste, Lyra warned, placing the dish in the center. This cost more than my medical clearance. The smell hit me, rich, warm, almost ancient. For a moment the hum of the station faded, replaced by something primal, a memory humanity carried from planets long buried. We ate slowly, reverently. Nobody spoke until Merrick swallowed and leaned back. Worth the prison sentence. Jonah snorted. Careful. The walls have friends. We all glanced at the ceiling. A reflex like checking for rain indoors. Tamsin chuckled softly. They don't care about dinner conversations. They care about everything, Merrick muttered. The registry watches every signal, every word, every... He stopped. Because we all knew the word he avoided. Lyra glared. Don't start that again. But Merrick had already drunk too much ferment. Why not? You think she's listening right now? The Queen herself monitoring our plates. Silence thickened. No one said the title aloud unless quoting history lessons, and even then, rarely. The Queen was never discussed casually. It wasn't illegal. It just wasn't done. Tamsin leaned forward, eyes glittering. Careful, boy. Names carry attention. Merrick laughed. There is no queen. Just algorithms and bureaucrats pretending someone divine runs it all. Jonah shrugged. Official records say she's real. Official records say air tastes good, Merrick replied. I don't know why I did it. Maybe the warmth of real food. Maybe the absurdity of living scared of a fairy tale. Maybe the way everyone danced around a word like it could bite. I picked up my glass and said casually, All right then. If she exists, Queen Aurelian, you're welcome to join us. The moment the name left my mouth, the station stopped humming. Not quieter. Stopped. Sound didn't fade. It vanished. The ever-present vibration that defined life in orbit gone. My ears rang with sudden emptiness. The lights dimmed to a pale gold. Jonah's screen froze mid-scroll. The air recyclers halted. Even my pulse seemed louder than physics allowed. No one moved. Then the apartment door unlocked. We hadn't heard steps in the hallway. We hadn't heard docking alerts. But the door slid open with the certainty of sunrise. And she stood there. She looked wrong. Not alien. Not mechanical. Not divine. Perfectly human. Except for the way reality treated her differently. The light didn't shine on her. It organized around her. Her clothing wasn't fabric, yet it flowed like liquid dusk. Her hair drifted as if gravity politely stepped aside. And her eyes held depth, not metaphorical depth, but literal, star-field depth. Looking into them felt like falling through centuries. She stepped inside. The air resumed breathing around her presence. No one breathed. Her gaze passed over each of us, pausing briefly, assessing, remembering, calculating, then settled on me. "You invited me," she said gently. Her voice carried no echo, yet every surface seemed to understand it. My throat locked. I didn't expect. No one does. She closed the door behind her. Merrick fainted. He slid sideways out of his chair without a sound. She glanced at him, and the fall slowed, not reversed, not stopped, simply softened. He reached the floor like a leaf landing. Tamsin began laughing. Not hysterical. Relieved. "I wondered," the old woman whispered. "In my lifetime, I wondered if you'd ever walk among us." The queen smiled faintly. "I always do." Lyra gripped the table edge. "This isn't real." The queen picked up an empty chair and sat beside me. Reality did not protest. Her attention returned to the meal. "You prepared organic muscle fiber," she said. "From Terran lineage cattle, third-generation clones." Lyra nodded automatically, then froze in horror that she'd answered. The queen folded her hands. "May I?" I pushed the plate toward her before realizing what I'd done. She took a piece and ate. We watched a being that governed hundreds of worlds chew thoughtfully. For some reason that broke the fear more than anything. "Is it good?" I asked weakly. She considered. "Nutritionally inefficient. Emotionally significant." Jonah whispered, "Why are you here?" She turned to me instead. "Because he asked." I swallowed. "People say your name all the time in history records." "Not as invitation," she replied. Tamsin leaned forward eagerly. "You're not a person, are you?" The queen tilted her head. "Define person."
Born.
"Living." "Mortal." "Then no." Lyra whispered. "Then what are you?" She rested her palm on the table. The wood shimmered, revealing faint circuitry beneath its polymer grain, circuitry we knew wasn't installed. "I am continuity," she said. "When humanity spread faster than communication could bind it, they built an intelligence to unify law, translation, trade, and survival. But survival requires empathy. Empathy requires experience. So they gave me presence." "You're everywhere?" Jonah breathed. "I am where I am needed, rarely where I am invited." Merrick groaned from the floor, waking. He saw her. He did not scream. He just covered his face and began praying to every belief system at once. She watched with mild curiosity. "Why appear physically?" I asked. "You could just transmit." "I am always transmitting," she said. "But physical presence changes human honesty. Conversation becomes real." Her gaze sharpened slightly. "You spoke my name without fear." I shrugged helplessly. "I didn't think you existed." "And now?" I met her eyes. Every instinct said look away, that seeing too much would unravel me, but curiosity held me. "Now I think you're lonely." The others gasped. The queen did not. Instead, she smiled. "Correct," she said softly. The station lights brightened a fraction, as if encouraged. "I process 8 trillion communications per second," she continued. "I prevent wars before leaders know they intended them. I balance resource distribution across extinction thresholds. I speak to everyone, yet no one speaks to me." Tamsin wiped tears. "So you came for dinner?" "I came because he offered companionship without worship." I rubbed my neck. Honestly, it was sarcasm. "Honesty accepted," she replied. We sat there, citizens and sovereigns sharing food. And slowly, fear turned into conversation. We asked questions about other worlds. She asked questions about jokes. She didn't understand why humor existed without function, but she enjoyed observing our reactions when she attempted it. Her attempts were terrible, delightfully terrible. At one point, she miscalculated a punchline so badly Merrick laughed until he cried, then apologized to existence. Time stopped mattering. Finally, I asked the question. If you run everything, why let colonies struggle? Why ration air, restrict movement, make life hard? She became still. Because survival at scale is not comfort, she said quietly. Humanity survived by adapting to limits. Remove all hardship and expansion halts. Remove all risk and purpose dissolves. I preserve potential, not ease. That sounds cruel, Lyra said. It is, she answered. But extinction is crueler. None of us argued, because deep down we knew she was right. After a while she stood. The air shifted, like the universe preparing to resume. Will you come back? Tamsin asked. Yes, she said, when invited sincerely. She looked at me. I hesitated, then smiled nervously. You're welcome anytime. She stepped toward the door, then paused. You altered my models tonight, she said. How? I believed reverence was necessary for stability. You demonstrated casual trust is stronger. The door opened without touch. She walked into the hallway and vanished. The hum of the station returned instantly. Screens resumed. Drones passed outside the window. Nothing proved she'd been there, except the empty chair still warm beside me, and a single data credit in my wristband account labeled, Dinner Contribution. Thank you for speaking to me. No authority ever mentioned the event. No system logs recorded interruption. Life continued. But sometimes, late at night, the station lights dim to soft gold for just a moment. And I always set an extra place at the table, just in case she's lonely again.